The riders could not ask for more perfect conditions here for stage 2 of Amy's Otway Tour. We're in Lorne, the sun's just come up and it's absolutely pristine racing conditions. Now the first 40 kilometres of the 109 kilometre stage is along the Great Ocean Road, so it's going to be fantastic racing for the riders on fully closed roads down along the coast, and then they turn right and they climb up to Skeens Creek. There was lots of action on that climb last year and I expect exactly the same this time round. And the climb up to the finish at Ben Werin, which will decide the tour.
It's a fast climb, so hopefully we don't lose too much time from some of the climbers. Climbing isn't really our strength today, but we'll try our best. Then we head out through forest, and it's quite undulating and lumpy, dead roads. It's predicted to be a headwind as well.
I mean, after yesterday, the crit shook things up a little bit. I think there was a couple of people who can climb quite well that weren't in the front bunch, so that'll change the dynamics a little bit. But obviously Ruth's out for a win, I think, based on yesterday, and she's got, I think, 20 seconds on me at the moment.
As the peloton rolled out from Lorne, the riders had the opportunity to soak in the views of the Great Southern Ocean as they enjoyed riding on one of the world's most iconic stretches of tarmac. However, it wasn't long until the attacks started, with Echuca training partners Minda Murray and Danielle Garden moving away from the group.
We rolled out and it was all pretty friendly, and I suppose we got, I don't know, about 5k in, and there's a couple of sort of half attacks, but no one was sort of, really keen to go. I mean, when you've got a 9k climb up the road.
I'm not much of a climber, so I thought, why not have a little bit of a crack?
I was planning on attacking maybe up Mount Warning and getting a bit of a gap, because that's my best chance to get with the front bunch over the top of the climb, get a bit of a head start. But when Danielle Garden went, we're good friends, and when you see a fellow Echuca person go up the road, you go, well, I'll go and give her a hand. And the peloton wasn't really interested in chasing us, so neither of us posed much of a threat to GC. So we're pretty lucky. We got a lot of headwind.
By the time they reached the first intermediate sprint, the gap was out to 1 minute 42 seconds.
We just worked really well together, just making sure we sort of kept turns, kept it rolling, tried to keep it a fairly steady pace and make sure that we could just keep away from the bunch for as long as we could. And I actually don't know who won the sprint. We sort of rolled over together. We didn't really contest it, so I have no idea.
Just rolled on and worked until bottom of Skeens. I said to Dan, because she spent a lot of years over in Italy with climbing Stelvio and that sort of thing, so she's a good hill climber. I just said to her, you just do your own pace and I'll look after myself.
When the leaders turned at Skeens Creek to start the 10-kilometre climb, they had an advantage of 2 minutes and 45.
That didn't really threaten us as high five, so we were happy to let that one go. And they got brought back up the first climb, and it was just pretty much a select group of girls. I think there was about 12 of us. Just made it over the top, and we just started working together.
When the peloton came onto the Skeens Creek climb, the gradient put lots of riders immediately in difficulty.
So the plan was for our team to work hard leading into Skeens Creek, and then basically set the tempo up the climb. We knew that there was a lot of individual riders that could climb, so it meant that probably no one team was going to work really hard, so we decided we'd take ownership of that.
Under the pressure from Perry, the peloton started to splinter.
Actually, I was quite glad we had a headwind up the climb, and I'm not that fit at the moment, so I was really hoping that was going to slow the true climbers down. So it was actually quite easy for a bunch of us to just get a sit on that climb, so it was good.
Ruth Corset's teammate Kate Perry went to the front of the peloton to up the tempo.
I think because we had such a big gap, it meant that no one was really wanting to work, and there was a couple of teams that had 2 riders, ourselves included. So, whilst I was on the front, I was making sure I wasn't working too hard, just keeping an eye on who was around me.
As the strong climbers forged ahead, several groups formed further down the climb.
The plan was for Ruth to try and get some time bonuses over the top, which which I think we did. We did well and then regrouped and worked together. So yeah, look, I was a bit worried that I'd gone a little bit too hard on the first climb, but we're fortunate that it's undulating, so once you get over that climb in front, we were hoping to stay away, which we did.
Subaru National Series leader Ruth Corset sprinted over the top of the climb to pick up 15 bonus seconds. By the time the remnants of the peloton made it to the second intermediate sprint at 82 kilometres, the gap had blown out to 4.5 minutes and they were out of contention.
Kate Perry was doing a lot of work on the front just to keep the bunch moving, because once we got a time check of 4.5 minutes, no one was really keen to keep the bunch rolling. So yeah, it was definitely Kate would come to the front, keep the pace up every now and then. No one was keen to do too much. So about 10k out from the finish, Kate Perry attacked. Everyone sort of looked at each other and there wasn't really a reaction, and she got a big gap quite early.
Yeah, look, the plan definitely wasn't to launch off the front, but I had no other choice leading into the corner, so I got a gap, and yeah, and we're lucky that on the day it worked in our favour.
Tour leader Georgia Baker was gapped slightly over the summit, but was able to quickly get back to the lead group on the descent.
I was yo-yoing up off the back of the bunch for this last climb, but yeah, I managed just to stay up, and I think I got third in the end on the stage, so yeah, I was really happy.
The two fastest sprinters in the field, tour leader Georgia Baker and Ashley-Ann Kudinoff, were under pressure on the climb, but were holding on to the best climbers, looking to stay in the top 2 places overall. Powering away up the final climb, riding like a firework, Kate Perry extended her lead all the way to the line to comfortably win the stage.
But put your hands together, the winner of the road race here, Kate Perry.
I've learnt that, you don't give up until the very end, so even with 500 to go, I was too scared to look around, but yeah, look, it's a great confidence booster and a great win, first NRS win, so backing up after King Valley, I'm pretty happy.
Corset make it 1-2. Ruth Corset in the next.
1 minute 28 seconds later, Miranda Griffiths nudged out Georgia Baker and Ruth Corset for second.
The sprint for second place, I somehow got second, not being a sprinter, but it was uphill, so that helps.
After digging deep on the hills, Georgia Baker from High Five Dream Team did enough to claim her second overall tour in recent weeks to cap off a purple patch of form.
It's really amazing. I obviously didn't expect to win today. This tour I didn't really think, especially last road stage, didn't really suit me down to the ground with the 2 10k climbs, and with the track background I was just looking to see if I could hold on to maybe get a place or one of the other girls getting up the road, but yeah, I'm just really happy, so yeah, it's great.
A strong performance in the Stage 1 criterium was enough for Laura Lee Moss from Holden Women's Racing to win the sprint competition. Only one hill climb counted for the Subaru Polka Dot Queen of the Mountains competition, and Ruth Corset claimed that on Skeens Creek. Specialised Securitor took out the overall team's classification. In the Subaru National Road Series overall point standings, Ruth Corset now holds a slender 2-point lead over Georgia Baker.
It's a great place, I think, Lorne, and obviously to race along the Great Ocean Road. We don't really get many tours like this one. We have such a great view to look at along there, and it's really scenic, and it's really great to hold a bike race here, and it gets a lot of people out to watch and support us as well.